Welcome back. This is Suzette, Cloudy Sky today, here to talk to you about some more poetry. Now, you must be wondering, okay, I know what ekphrastic is now, but do I write? You can write with a form, and by form, odes, sonnets, pantoums. How to write a free verse poem, pardon me, without using a form. Villanelles, I forgot, sonnet, haikus, limericks. We got lots of forms. You could play with forms if you want, but the focus here is to describe the artwork or to bring the artwork to life. So I'll share this resource. It will be in the links on how you can write a free verse poem. Or if you're just getting started and this will help, let you write. And the characteristic of a free verse poetry include a lack of form, meter, and rhyme scheme. That may work for some people. So don't be afraid of just letting it flow from the brain. Now, me personally, I like a little bit of rhyme, and I guess you can tell by that. Now, back to ekphrastic poetry. In this one is by, I have to bring it up to see so I don't get the name wrong. So this article, which I will also share with you, Blue Horses by Mary Oliver, is by Barbara Berman, but it informed me that Oliver wrote this poem on a painting by Franz Marc. And let's get a couple lines in. I stepped into the painting of the four blue horses. I'm not even surprised that I can do this. One of the horses walked towards me. His blue nose noses me lightly. I put my arm over his blue mane, not holding on, just commingling. He allows me my pleasure. Then she goes into how Franz Marc, poor young man that died. But you can come to this, take a look, and it's a different style of of working in poetry, but it goes. Now we're gonna go all the way back. Now this one has a rhyme scheme of an ode, and this is John Keats. Now you can get this in Wikipedia. It's called Ode on a Grecian Urn. 10-line stanza begins with a A B rhyme scheme, then it goes into the CDE, DCE, and then CDE, CDE. We don't have to go that long, but I mean, it's interesting to know that it's very organized. And if you need organization to get your words in, you can do it. And you can use modern words. Claude McKay, one of the modern poets, actually used iambic pentameter and, if I recall, the ode form or the sonnet form in his poetry and had a modern twist to it. So writing ekphrastic, do you need any kind of form? Now, I'm going to share with you the link to the masterclass, but just looking at the Google results, it speaks directly to the artist on the subject of the piece. So when you go in and you look at a piece, what does it say to you? Do you feel like you can step into it? And does it give you a story that you imagine? That is ekphrastic poem. Now, another thing you can use if you're like, well, I don't want to rhyme, you could use alliteration. Now, this is from proofreadingservices.com, and they actually got some poem lines from some different poems of people using alliteration. Torn, turned, and tattered, bowed, brown, and battered. So, alliteration, I think, is the sound or even the letter of the first word. But I mean, if the letter sounds different, it's not really alliteration. So if you could use a different letter that sounds the same, like C and S sometimes, that was also considered alliteration. So let's see if they do anything. A lumbering lubber loitering slow, and bells and buttons and loops and lace, so that nobody could ever see the face. I mean, so this is interesting. Beauty's effect with beauty were bereft, or frosted flowers that the gay wardrobe wears. But the lilas of darkness, darling, and the muscle of the mind giving in. So as you can see, there's quite a couple things that you can add into your free form poem. You could give it some techniques. So we looked at rhyme. You can rhyme if you want. You can follow a rhyming scheme, form. And if you're going to go free form or you want to juice it in with some of this, like in this case, a little alliteration, you can. So as a reminder, don't forget, visit the Broward Art Guild Wednesday through Saturday, 12 to 6 p.m. You get to me before April 16th. So you find an artwork that inspires you, write your poem, upload your poem at my Google form, or use the QR code below. I will provide a date and time when we can gather and read our poems. And I will, yes, see you next time.